On this video we're going to look at how we can find duplicates and also how we can delete the duplicates in a list. So here's my data set, and as you'll see you've got the first names in the first column and the last names in the next column. And the three things we're going to try and achieve today is we're going to first of all bring together the first and last name, because it's no good me finding the first name duplicates, because obviously you're going to have several people with the same first name. Then we're going to use conditional formatting to identify the duplicates. I sometimes like to do this because rather than going straight for removing them, it allows me to see where they are and just make sure I'm doing it right. And then the third step is we're going to remove all the duplications. So let's do step one, which is bring together the first and last name. So let's put in a column heading, and if you've watched my videos before you'll know that I do like a column heading. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you haven't already done so. So we want to copy the format over, so I'm just going to click on B1, click on my format painter, and then click over to C1. That will just copy the format. So just like to make sure my table is consistent. So we're going to use a really handy thing here called flash fill. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in Clarissa's name. So there's her first name, space, and her last name. There we go. And all I need to do when I've typed that in is do Control E, and it will pick up the pattern of that and it will copy it down. So if you look down now, you'll see that all the names are the first name followed by the last name. So that's flash fill, and that's a really good feature. So we've now done that first option. We've done number one. We've brought the first name together and the last name. My next step is to identify the duplicate. So we're going to work with the full name column now. So I'm going to click on C1. I'm going to select the whole column. Nice shortcut key here is Control, the Shift button and the down arrow. So you want Control first, and then you want to hold down your Control key, and at the same time hold down your Shift key. That's that one there. Sometimes it has the word Shift on it, sometimes it just has a little arrow. And then you need to locate the arrow key on your keyboard, and so you want Control Shift down arrow. That will select the entire column. So start in C1, Control Shift down, and there we go. So let's use conditional formatting to identify these duplicates. We're going to go to the Home tab at the top. There's the Home tab. Just mark that in red for you. Click on Home. And then we're going to go to the conditional formatting button. That is there. And we're going to go to Highlight Cell Rules, and right down the bottom of that menu is duplicate values. There we are. So what that's going to do, that's going to look through my list. I'll just choose OK there, and I can see there's a couple of duplicates. One there. Scroll up. Any more? There we have. There's the second one. So there's two duplicates. So this gives me just the option just to double check what I've done. Now you don't have to do that. You can go straight on to number 3 and remove them, but I find the viewing them, looking at them first, is a really good way to just make sure I'm doing the right thing. So now we're going to go on to step 3, which is remove the duplicates. So we're going to click in the data, and actually want this to apply to the whole table, so I'm not going to select this column again. I'm just going to do Control and A, which will select all my data, or alternatively you might have a table and it will just pick up the whole table. So let's come up to the data menu next. That's up here. Okay. And from the data menu, I want to choose remove duplicates. So this one is on the ribbon and it is there. So sometimes you only get the icon. If you've got a small screen you don't get the text remove duplicates. So if you've just got the icon, just hover over it and see what the button says. So let's click on remove duplicates, and it asks me where the duplicate is. So I'm just going to untick the first and last name column. Otherwise I'll have that problem where it will remove everybody with the same first name. And just make sure that last name is ticked. So it's going to find any duplicates in the full name column. They're the ones that are to be deleted. Choose OK, and it should say 2 found. Choose OK again, and there we go. And actually you might notice my conditional formatting has disappeared because there are no longer any duplications. Just to recap on that, so let's just recap on what we actually did to get to that point. So first of all, we brought the first name and last name together, and that was using Control. We had to type in a sample of what we wanted, and then we used Control E to flash fill. For number 2, use conditional formatting to identify duplicates. For that one, we used on the Home tab, we found the conditional formatting, and if you remember, we went to, just come back to my document, we went to highlight cell rules and then found duplicate values. So I'll just write that in there for you. So it's conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and this is more of a visual visual point for you rather than actually doing anything with your information, and the whole point of doing that is it just makes it easier to do. And the final step, step 3, to remove the duplicates, we went to the data tab, and on the data tab, let's just go and have a look. There it is, remove duplicates. Okay, just go back a step, because actually before we removed the duplicates, we highlighted the data where the duplicates were. I don't know if you remember the shortcut key we used for that. That was Control and A. Think of all, Control and all. So, and when you do Control and A, make sure your cursor is on a bit of the data. Control and A, that selects it all. Then you go to Data, and then you go to remove duplicates, and it allows you to choose which column has the duplications. I hope this has been a bit of help to you. Rewatch it, don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes when you rewatch it, it makes it stick. Don't be afraid to go back and practice your Excel skills, and if you are looking for any videos, or you want this particular topics you want me to cover, then just pop them in the chat. Love to hear from you. Thanks very much for watching.